Welcome to my channel Limelight Leaks. Please share and subscribe, and hit the bell icon for latest updates. The car engines have stopped making noise. The street racing king, Jonathan Day, who millions of people know as JJ Boss from Street Outlaws, has hit the biggest wall ever. But this isn't something new for him. It's a scary reminder of things that happened before. For many years, a dark secret has followed him as he became famous. A secret that now might pull him back into a very bad place. The shocking truth is this. JJ Boss has already said goodbye forever once before, when he was locked up in prison for a really long time. And that shadow from his past, mixed with new legal problems, hangs over his future like a dark cloud. JJ Boss spent 8 years and 1 month locked up in a government prison. That was Jonathan Day's world back then. He was stuck behind bars for drug crimes. A really heavy punishment that felt like it would never end. A real goodbye forever to the freedom he used to have. This wasn't just a quick stop. It was a long, hard trip through a system that takes away everything you know and love. We don't know all the details about his drug crimes, but the fact that he spent more than 8 years in government prison tells us it was really serious stuff. This was a time of learning hard lessons. A time that JJ later said made him really appreciate and respect life and everyone around him. He had to trade the open road for cold metal bars, the cheers of crowds for the silence of a jail cell. Every single day was a fight not on the street, but inside himself as he dealt with the results of the bad choices he made before. This long time in prison happened way before he became famous on TV. In fact, it was just about a year after he got out that he started putting together his famous Memphis Street Outlaws team, also called MSO. And soon after that he was on TV across the whole country for the very first time. This quick jump to fame after being away for so long makes you think, how did he do it? And did the people who put him on TV know about what happened before? The answer is yes. The TV people behind Street Outlaws knew everything about Jonathan Day's time in prison. They knew he had spent a lot of time locked up for crimes that might mean he could do violent things. This wasn't a secret they just found out about by accident. It was part of his story, a part they chose to talk about and show. They picked JJ Boss to be the main star of Street Outlaws Memphis because he was already popular and had a tough, no-nonsense personality that people liked. This choice suggests that the show might have even been made to push limits, causing real-world problems and making his tough image seem even more real than before. The shadow of those prison walls, even though many viewers couldn't see it, was always a part of the man they watched race cars. How did a man who faced such a dark past, a man who knew what the inside of a government prison looked like, become a beloved TV star and a king of the streets? To really understand JJ Boss, we have to go back to where his story started, long before the cameras started rolling and the world knew his name. Jonathan Day was born in Memphis, Tennessee, on August 10, 1973. But he grew up in a tiny town called Joyner, Arkansas, just west of Memphis near the Mississippi River. Life there was simple and often hard, but it was here that his love for racing really started. Racing wasn't just something fun for young Jonathan to do. It was a big part of his family. His uncles and grandfathers were street racers, and they passed down a love for speed and competition from when he was very young. He was around street racing since he was a baby, often carried on his mother's hip to watch his father and uncle compete against other racers. This wasn't about fancy racetracks or professional racing circuits. It was about raw, pure street racing, where skill and courage mattered most of all. The rules were old school. Races started with just someone dropping their arm without complicated cameras to check for tiny mistakes. This old-fashioned way of racing, deeply rooted in his family's history, became a big part of who he was as a person. One big reason for racing on the streets was money. JJ explained that his family wasn't rich at all. They couldn't afford the expensive equipment, the high-tech cars, or the fees needed to race on professional tracks where other people raced. The street offered a place where anyone with a fast car and enough courage could race, without time limits or big costs. But this world of unregulated street racing was also very dangerous. A bet gone wrong or a heated argument could quickly turn deadly, putting people's lives at risk. Because of these high risks, JJ believed that respect and strong leadership were the most important rules on the street. This need for order and authority in a chaotic environment is where his boss personality truly began, long before it was a title on television. His ability to command respect and enforce rules was developed because he had to, making his TV character feel genuine and explaining why his crew was so loyal to him. He learned to hustle and gamble from when he was very young. Anything to earn a few dollars. And he was driving and racing on dirt and gravel roads by the time he was 10 years old. This early life filled with the thrill of racing and the harsh realities of trying to survive forged a man who would one day face prison walls and come out to build an empire. After years spent mastering the back roads, facing down dangers, and living through the deep silence of being in prison, the question came up. How did JJ and his Memphis crew go from local legends to national stars, bringing their unique style of racing to millions of people? It all started when Discovery Channel came calling. They were interested in filming the raw, real world of Memphis street racing. JJ wasn't sure at first, unsure about bringing his family's deeply rooted heritage and his own shadowed past into the bright lights of fame. He had seen enough of the system already. Did he really want more eyes watching his life? Despite having doubts, he said yes. And the world soon met Old Heavy, his famous 1949 Chevy pickup truck. This vehicle was more than just a race car. It was like a family member passed down through many generations, a living piece of his history, and it quickly became a star all by itself. The show Street Outlaws Memphis let people everywhere see the true danger and excitement of their racing. JJ felt it let the world feel the danger and understand their way of life without judging them or thinking bad things about them based on stereotypes. The Memphis Street Outlaws, led by JJ, quickly became known for being fiercely loyal and for winning a lot. They were dominant on the streets, ready to take on anyone at any time, and they usually came out on top, whether it was on Street Outlaws Memphis or Fastest in America. For JJ, it was never just about making money. He always valued family and honor above everything else. A code he lived by both on and off the racetrack. This deep belief in family and honor connected with viewers, making him more than just a racer. He was like a father figure, a leader, a man who stood by his own people no matter what happened. JJ owned several famous race cars, including Zip Tie, Hummingbird, the Malibu, and Here, which was a 1966 Chevy 2 that he bought when he was in his early 20s and later bought back again. He even put his wife Trisha Day, known as, and his cousin Precious in cars to race, making a lot of money by betting that girls could beat other people in street races. He taught them his tricks and tactics to win races. JJ is known as one of the fastest men on the streets and one of the biggest gamblers, having raced on every street in Memphis, and even started his own street racing scene called Spin City years ago. While the show brought him huge fame and let his unique racing world be seen by millions of people, this mainstream exposure was like a sword with two sharp edges. The very platform that lifted him up also made the consequences of his actions bigger, leading to more people watching him closely and new levels of risk. The world of high-stakes street racing, especially when mixed with the bright lights of reality television, often brings trouble right to your doorstep. For JJ Boss, one particular incident brought the law knocking in a very serious way, reminding everyone that the shadow of goodbye forever still hung over him, threatening to pull him back into the darkness he had lived through once before. This incident happened in September 2017, when a race that was supposed to be for the cameras turned into a brutal fight involving JJ and his crew against another racer, Chad Larkin, and his wife Jenny. The accusations that followed were shocking, painting a scary picture of the chaos that happened. Chad Larkin, an experienced street racer from Missouri, and his wife Jenny were invited by Jonathan Day to race for the show. The lawsuit claims that the show's producers actually planned for things to get heated to make the show more exciting and get higher TV ratings. They supposedly encouraged trash talk between JJ's team and the other racers. Tensions exploded when one of JJ's racers reportedly started too early, which meant they should have been kicked out of the race. This made JJ really angry. He started yelling and screaming, then told his crew to use every dirty trick they could against the other racers. He even said they would burn them down, meaning they would delay the race on purpose to make the other cars get too hot. He wanted them to talk trash, anything to get in their heads and mess with them. The lawsuit claims that Chad Larkin, after being told to by the show staff, started to make fun of JJ and his crew. In response, JJ and a crew member known as Bounty Hunter allegedly attacked Chad Larkin. They punched him in the face many times and kicked him in the ribs while he was lying on the ground. Larkin said he truly believed they were trying to kill him, and he was scared for his life. When his wife Jenny tried to help him, a female member of JJ's team allegedly grabbed her head and pulled her to the ground by her hair, causing her physical and emotional pain. What makes this even more shocking are the claims against the show's producers. The lawsuit says they made no effort to stop the fight from happening. Instead, they kept filming and even told the cameraman to get closer and get a better shot of Larkin's bloody face. This footage reportedly even aired on the show for people to see. This suggests that the drama scene on screen might have been planned by the producers, meaning they might have directly caused the real-world injuries and legal problems just to get higher TV ratings. Chad Larkin got seriously hurt, including a chipped front tooth, a busted lip, a black eye, a slipped disc in his back, and a torn knee. Jenny Larkin also got physically and emotionally hurt. The Larkins are asking for a huge amount of money in their lawsuit. Chad Larkin is trying to get up to $5 million in damages, and Jenny Larkin is trying to get $500,000 for what happened to her. A month after the fight happened, Jonathan Day was arrested and charged with aggravated assault, which is a serious crime. He was later let out after paying a $30,000 bond to get out of jail. As of September 2018, the criminal case was still going on, and JJ had avoided indictments, meaning a grand jury had not officially charged him with a crime yet. In a twist, Chad Larkin's claims in the lawsuit were sent to arbitration, which is a private way to solve legal problems. This happened because he signed a contract that had a special clause for arbitration. However, Jenny Larkin's claims are still moving forward in public court. This means that while some parts of the legal battle are hidden from public view, the overall case is still active and visible, like a constant threat hanging over JJ's head. Just when it might seem that the legal storms around JJ DeBoss were starting to calm down, a new controversy exploded, showing that his life on the edge is far from over, and that the threat of goodbye forever can come in many different forms. This time it wasn't a fight, but a daring stunt that brought down the hammer from racing authorities. In November 2023, at the Darlington Dragway, a man known as Randy was filmed holding on to the back of Old Heavy as JJ's famous truck sped down the track. It was a wild, jaw-dropping moment for many viewers who watched it. A show of raw, wild speed that nobody expected to see. Randy was lying face down, gripping the truck's bed cover with no straps holding him on, though he reportedly signed a waiver saying he knew it was dangerous. However, this stunt came with severe consequences, a harsh reminder that the rules of the game were changing. The World Drag Racing Association, a major group that watches over racing events, announced that they would no longer sanction events at the Darlington Dragway. The reason they gave was that the incident involving JJ DeBoss was classified as a serious safety and insurance violation. Darlington Dragway quickly responded by putting out its own statement, a clear message to the racing world and everyone watching. They emphasized that safety was their top priority for both racers and people who came to watch. Because of the incident that happened, they made a clear and firm decision that would affect JJ's future. JJ DeBoss would no longer be allowed to host events at the Dragway in the future. This was a direct ban, effectively closing a significant door for the Street Racing King. A professional goodbye forever from a major racing venue where he used to compete. So, does this ban mean another goodbye forever for JJ's racing career and everything he worked for? Not entirely, and not right now. Despite the very public and definitive ban from Darlington, JJ DeBoss is still actively racing and making appearances at other places. His celebrity status and enduring fan base allow him to navigate and overcome significant professional setbacks that would stop other people. For example, he is scheduled to bring his horsepower and high-stakes drama to other tracks, such as Bunker Hill Dragstrip in June 2025. This demonstrates his remarkable strength and continued presence in the racing world, even when some roads close to him. While certain avenues for his racing are indeed closing, his career is adapting and changing under pressure, which shows his unyielding spirit that won't give up. The question remains, how long can he outrun the consequences, both legal and professional, before another, more permanent goodbye forever catches him and stops him for good? Beyond the roaring engines, the lawsuits, and the bans from racing venues, who is the man behind the legend of J.J. DeBoss? At his core, Jonathan Day is a man deeply rooted in family and loyalty, values that define his entire life and his racing crew. His wife, Trisha Day, affectionately known as, is not just his partner in life, but also his partner on the track, racing right alongside him. JJ is a father to a large family, which forms the backbone of his Memphis Street Outlaws crew and everything they do. He has 11 children in total, 7 from a previous marriage and 4 with Trisha, his current wife. This big family is deeply involved in his racing world, with his son Doughboy and cousin Precious also being key parts of the team that races together. The bond within the Memphis crew is described as truly organic, built on shared experiences and a deep sense of togetherness that can't be faked. For JJ, family and honor are always at the top, even above winning money from races. However, this life of speed comes with very real dangers, not just legal ones that could put him in jail. The physical risks are always there, and the consequences can be devastating for him and his family. His own daughter, Wee Wei Day, faced a terrifying moment when she crashed at the Bunker Dragstrip during a racing event that was supposed to be fun. She lost control near the finish line, resulting in a violent wreck that left fans stunned, with a collective gasp echoing through the crowd of people watching. Wee Wei had to be airlifted to the hospital by helicopter, a stark reminder of the dangers of their sport. A moment that could have easily turned into a permanent goodbye forever for his beloved daughter, who means everything to him. Thankfully, she is now recovering and in stable condition, which is a small victory in a world filled with high stakes and constant danger. So, what does the future truly hold for Jonathan Day, the man known as J.J. DeBoss to millions of fans? He is a figure who has stared down federal prison for a drug charge, battled serious aggravated assault allegations and a multi-million-dollar lawsuit, and face bans from major racing venues. Yet despite these huge challenges, he keeps roaring down the track, showing his enduring spirit as a man who refuses to be silenced. The story of J.J. DeBoss is a compelling blend of past mistakes and a form of redemption, as he built a successful racing career and a popular television show that millions love. However, this journey is also marked by a continuous state of high risk, from ongoing lawsuits to professional bans and the very real physical dangers to his family members. This constant tension between his past and the ever-present possibility of new legal or personal setbacks is what keeps his story so captivating, like a drama unfolding in real time. Despite the constant challenges and the shadows of his past, JJ continues to race, draw crowds, and lead his Memphis family. His spirit remains unbroken, and the loyalty of his fans is as strong as ever, supporting him through everything. Yet, the questions linger, echoing like the distant rumble of a car engine in the distance. Will the legal battles ever truly catch up to him, leading to another goodbye forever behind prison bars? Or will the dangers of the street finally take their toll, forcing him to hang up his keys for good and stop racing? The road ahead for J.J. DeBoss remains as unpredictable and thrilling as a street race itself, a constant dance with fate where every turn could be his last one.